Welcome everyone to That's a Mess this week with a very special guest, Kissy Plays Games. Welcome.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Messy. Thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you for accepting the invitation.
I'm
How are you doing?
doing great. It's
Nice.
Foxy Friday, so
Oh, I
I
love
had to
that.
wear the onesie.
That is
So happy Foxy
perfect.
Friday.
Happy Foxy Friday, everyone.
Woo!
So, for everyone that is not familiar with your channel and who you are, please, introduce yourself.
Okay, so my usual thing that I do is I say hi and Kissy. I play games. We play all the games. We play cute games, creepy games. Um, a lot of indie games, some survival games, multiplayer games, pew pew games,
Pew pew
and
games.
yeah, pew pew pew. Literally all the games. We do some music streams, art streams,
Whoa.
some IRL kayak fishing streams, and on Sundays is Self Care Sunday. So I read tarot cards for anybody who's interested. And oh yeah, and sometimes we also open Pokemon cards. Oh, and this here is Skelly, my
Yes.
darling co-host. Yeah. So
That we're gonna talk about all that, everyone. Stay tuned. That's awesome. So just as an icebreaker right now, how was your week?
my week was good. It was
Oh.
good. The weather's cooled down quite a bit.
Oh, it's starting to cool down. Nice.
Yeah, we had some crazy storms last week, like sort of in the area. There were like
Oh.
tornadoes,
Yeah,
which is
those got
not
to
a
you?
thing that we
I
really
see.
get.
Yeah.
Um, Luckily I was like, myself, my family and everybody were fine and safe, and it actually kind of went around us, um but
Still a little
the
scary,
one,
yeah.
yeah, I don't love tornado warnings. They freak me out a lot.
Hmm.
um but after the storms went through, the weather started to cool down a lot, which was a nice relief from the heat.
Nice. Yeah, it's the complete opposite of what I have right now. Like it's
Oh no.
super hot over here. And I think the temperature is actually doing the opposite as well because it's starting to go up right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but right now, do you guys have rain at this time of the year or no? Just
Yeah,
like
it's
after
kind of,
that
I would say
storm?
this is like more of the, I guess really like south of here, it's more of the rainy season, but we do
I
get
see.
like the leftovers from hurricanes and stuff, and it's hurricane season.
Got it. Yeah, because for me, it's about to enter like rain season. So at least
Okay.
that will like, I guess it won't be like super hot because the rain does make the weather a little more like chilly, right? But
Yeah,
it helps a little bit. But you
it
guys are going
does.
into the fall, so
Yes, I
that's
love the
great.
fall.
Gonna
It's
be
my
spooky
favorite.
season.
It
Yeah.
is. So excited.
It
I'm so
is
excited for
excited.
spooky season.
All right. To start us up today, we're gonna start with some gaming questions, and which is I was gonna say they were like my favorite topic, but I just love them all, so I can't pick a favorite.
That's
So
fair.
first
That's fair.
question: how did you get into gaming?
So the first game that I ever played, or like video game that I ever played was, I always get the age wrong, but I think I was about 5. And we were at this place called New Hope, PA, and it's like this cute little town. There's lots of shops and stuff. And it was my parents and my younger sister and I walking around. It was like dead of summer, super hot. They just wanted somewhere to stop where we could like get inside and get
Oh
some water
yeah.
to drink, get in the air conditioning. And we go into this place and they're like, we're a nightclub and we're not open. Um, but my parents are like, look, we got these little kids, it's hot, they're overheated, whatever. So like, okay, come in, come in, come in. And so they sit us down at this little table, give us waters or whatever, and it turns out that we're sitting at a tabletop Pac-Man machine.
Whoa.
And my dad was like, "Oh man, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this." And so we sat there and I like played Pac-Man on the little machine.
Yeah.
Um, and then my dad saw like how excited that I was, and my sister too. were about this like video game that when we got home, he went into the basement and dug out this box that had an old Atari 800, which is the Atari with the keyboard.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the
so he
coolest story.
Yeah, he dug that out and there's like a bunch of games in there, like oh my god. Like Asteroids and Centipede and Pac-Man and God
Yeah.
knows what other weird random things. And he set that up for us to play. And so, I sat there a lot playing those games until I got my like first actual new console. So
Oh.
yeah,
Which
that's how
console
it
did you get
started.
after that?
I got a Sega Genesis.
Whoa.
I was a Sega kid.
Nice. 'Cause yeah, that
Um,
leads into one of the questions too. So you were a Sega kid
I
growing up.
was. I was. Um, I loved my Genesis. I think I still have it. Actually, I
Whoa.
definitely still have it. I did because I plugged it into my TV and it looks like trash. Um, I was like, this is
It still
terrible.
works though.
Yeah, it does. It does. And well, what made me even happier was a few years later. I think I don't know. I can't remember what it's like to tell time when you're a kid. Like how much
Yeah,
time's gone
for
by.
sure.
Um, but uh, I wanted something like portable. And
Yeah.
so it was either a Sega Game Gear or a Sega Nomad. And
Oh.
I was like, give me that Nomad. And so I still have my Sega Nomad, which I don't know if you were around for that, probably not. But
No, the Game Gear I remember, but the Nomad
okay.
I can't paint a picture.
So the Nomad was a console that did not do well. Um but it was this big clunky thing. It took 6 AA batteries and died really quickly. Um, and so you basically just had to sit with it plugged into the wall, but it played Genesis games.
Oh, I see.
So that
That's
was
pretty
like
cool.
the appeal to me because I'm a little kid with, without money to spend on games really.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I can play all the games that I have.
On
But
this
like
thing, yeah.
on this big thing just this close to my face. But yeah, so
What
I
was
was I was
your
definitely a Sega kid.
and what was your favorite game growing up then?
So um on my Genesis, like if we're going back then, I would say like my favorite Genesis game or the game that I probably played the most was like Sonic 2, but plugged into the
Oh,
Sonic and Knuckles cartridge. Because I had
whoa.
that little flip top.
Yeah.
And you stuck the Sonic 2 in it, and then you could play Sonic 2 as Knuckles, which I thought was like amazing. Um, so that was my
Modding
favorite
before
Genesis
modding.
game, but like I I got started PC gaming I like since before PCs had Windows. Like
Oh,
I had
yeah.
a PC with like DOS on it, and
Yeah.
I am so old. But you put like the 5-inch
Nah.
floppy disks in. Oh my god, I'm so old.
Technology
Um,
technology just moves way too fast. You're not
that is
old.
true. But I think my favorite game that I really remember like from being a kid is the Monkey Island games. Um
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Lucas
yeah.
LucasArts made them.
Mhm.
And the guys who made the Monkey Island games actually made a game a few years ago called Thimbleweed Park, which is like pays homage
Oh,
very
yeah.
much to that. It's that whole point and click adventure.
Adventure, yeah.
Which I love those games. But I played those. I would play those at my grandmother's house when I'd go to visit, and like me and my sister and my little cousins, like I'd be sitting at her PC in the basement, and they'd all be, like huddled up around me, and we would watch and like be like, oh my god, you
Like
know,
watching you play, yeah.
yeah. So I think that was like my first PC love of games. Um,
Nice.
but
Now
yeah.
here's a great question because I think sometimes the games we love growing up don't tend to be the games we love like after a while. Like, so what's your favorite game today? If you had to like, what's your
Oh.
literally your favorite game?
So I was thinking about this in general, and it's hard to say. Like I could say the games that I have the most hours in. would be like Animal Crossing New Horizons and Binding of Isaac.
Oh.
Binding of Isaac, like probably even that probably doubles what I have in Animal Crossing, which is an obscene amount anyway. Um, but yeah, it's Binding of Isaac I've always loved. Um, well, I guess like when it came out a few years ago, I played it on PS4 and then
Yeah.
moved over to PC, and so I probably have like 3,000 hours in it because it
Oh.
was a game that I would just like on my like it ran on my MacBook Air too. So I
Hmm.
was like just laying in bed like okay.
It is a
Isaac
really
run and
good
then like fall
game.
asleep.
And it's really, really good. I love that game too.
Yeah, it's so good.
Did you like
Um
kill all the bosses and stuff on that game? Like, did you do everything that you could? Because I remember it's
uh,
pretty difficult, like, right? There's like so many bosses.
yeah, I got close. I definitely got close. But then my save file got corrupted in
No.
Steam and I couldn't like there are ways to get it back up, but it didn't work.
I
So
see.
so
Then starting
now
all the way, yeah.
yeah. So like I have like 3 new save files that are all in various stages of like not even close to where I was before.
Hmm.
Um but it's also kind of fun because then you start unlocking stuff again.
True. Didn't they release a new expansion, I think,
Yeah,
this
yeah, and
year?
I've barely like touched that. Like I've started to unlock a
Oh.
few things.
Hmm.
Um but yeah, it's really cool. Like I like what they did with the new stuff.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. And to, I guess, go in a little from the favorite game theme here, but last week on the show, we had like a small discussion about game reviews and how
Okay.
subjective they are, since like the input of the person reviewing it is also really important. So
Yeah.
my question right now is, do you like checking up on reviews? Like, does that influence like the games you play and stuff?
Um Probably to a fault, yes.
Oh,
Like and it's kind of weird because I typically go for indie games. And games that like don't necessarily have as much exposure as others like, like bigger titles.
yeah,
And so you don't know with less reviews, you don't know how like I don't know how biased they might be depending on like
sure. For yeah,
if it's like a really
100%.
weird game and like if
Mm-hmm.
somebody just doesn't get it, I'll be like that weird kid. Um, but like Steam, I usually feel really good about Steam reviews.
Whoa, yeah, because
Um,
those are player
yeah,
reviews.
like I actually don't really check any other reviews. I only check Steam reviews.
Whoa, that's a good take.
Um,
Yeah,
because it's not necessarily a scoring system. It's just the reviews are either, you know, mostly negative, negative, mixed,
yeah,
positive, very positive. Like it's very like or overwhelmingly positive, whatever. But it's like still broad enough where it is like essentially a what 5, 6 star rating system, but it doesn't
mm-hmm.
really look that way. And
For
something that's
sure.
positive could still be a great game.
Yeah,
It's just like more people like for the ones that are overwhelmingly positive, you're like, I know this is a good game because a ton of people said yes, play this game. Because like you can either what is it? You can either say like I recommend this game or I don't.
recommend. Yeah,
So I feel like you can get like a good like a
that
fairly
is.
good
Yeah, I love
in
that take
there.
because I didn't consider that last week, and it's really interesting because yeah, Steam reviews. Every time I go in there, it's really fun. There's really some people that like really put some thought into reviewing the game. Of course, there's like some
Yeah.
memes in there, but even the memes I love.
Yeah, it's true.
And yeah, so I guess that is a good way to kind of like, because you're not letting yourself be right, like you don't let that influence you a lot, right? Like you're reading it,
Right.
but even if it's like, you could be on the fence, but you can still you're gonna be like, I'll see for myself. Do you still?
Yeah. Yeah, if something is like negative, I almost definitely overlook it. Like I'm just like no.
I see.
Because I'm like
Yeah.
if unless it's only got like a couple of reviews.
Mm-hmm.
So like there might be something super weird and obscure that I stumble across, to the point where it says like not enough reviews to say.
Yeah.
and then I'll like go through and read everything. Um, but yeah, I tend to just like because I have way too many games in my backlog as it is. I think I have like 350 games in Steam,
Oh
something
wow.
absolutely insane,
Yeah.
and I have not come anywhere near to completing them, or even opening all of them. So I'm like, all right, if you're gonna buy more games, which I always do,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
have to have very positive or overwhelmingly positive
Oh, yeah.
like responses. And then a lot of times I'll just go and like I'll just Google like what are the best indie games right now, like or indie games to look
Yeah.
for and try to find some interesting stuff that way.
And for the outlet
Um
reviews, you usually don't check them then. They're like, I'll just go, I'll
yeah,
see what the majority of people, basically, like, if we were talking about like movie scores, it's basically like you have the critic score and then usually you have the
yes.
user score. So basically you're looking towards the user score instead of looking at the,
Yeah.
that is, yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good
that's
way to do
exactly
it.
right. Actually, I've never thought about it that way, but yeah, it's like looking at the only that one when you go to Rotten Tomatoes. Because that's the one that
Exactly, yeah.
matters.
To be honest, yes.
Like I appreciate what a critic has to say, like an expert, but um at the same time, like I gotta enjoy it.
Yeah,
So yeah.
which means, and that's a pretty good way. Like this, I'm glad I included this question. This was really good because, yeah, just like for example, I think we talked about Days Gone, and Days Gone had like a 6 on, like, through the critics. It was like really mixed. But then if you look
Okay.
at the user, like what the users and the audience thought of the game, everyone was like big on it, and everyone really liked it. Like, it's really interesting, and I played it, and like I still think if I'm being a critic, I'll be like, okay, this game is a 6, like a 7, like it's right there. But I still
Yeah.
had fun, which is what is important.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, if you look at the
Yeah.
user score, you're like, oh, there is fun to be had right here. Like, I can have a good time.
Yeah, that's true. We played a game um uh an Euphoriatic stream the other like the other day called um it's oh gosh, it's something like I'm just oh, Never Split the Party.
Whoa,
And
never heard of that game.
it's super cute, it's free. Um and it like it has it's like a Binding of Isaac kind of feel, right? Like you're
Oh
going
yeah.
room to room. It's like a little dungeony crawler kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you play with 4 people.
Whoa.
So the reviews on it, I'm pretty sure it said like mix.
Mm-hmm.
So normally if I saw that, I would have like passed it by, right? But like we had so much fun and it was so chaotic.
Yeah.
And it was just like you can revive somebody by giving away one of your hearts. Like there's like random
Whoa.
items. Everybody gets a chest, like you would in like a boss room or an item room.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious. It was also free.
That helps.
So, but then I'm like, well, like people were like this is a free game and you're gonna give
And
mixed
people were like
mixed
mad.
reviews?
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
but yeah, so I think sometimes like even if it's mixed, I'm like, all right, maybe I should go and like actually see what people like. Did they have
See for
fun?
yourself. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like that's sort of the point.
For sure. Yeah, I agree 100%. I also am on the team of like, look, this game might not be like people might not like this game or something, but I'll see for myself, like that kind of thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm excited for
Yeah,
it, so
exactly.
I'll see if I like it.
Especially if it's something that like sounds interesting or something that like you were looking forward to.
Exactly.
Um, and some people always have that well, it's not long enough, it's not enough content. I'm like, but is the content there good?
True.
Like,
Yeah.
don't give it a bad review if the
Just because.
content is
Yeah.
good. Like, just because you wanted more of it doesn't mean it's a bad game. Like,
That game is so good
it's
that I
the
want more.
opposite.
Yeah. So we're talking about like different types of games here, and I wonder, do you have like a genre that you like to play, like more than others?
Um, well, I literally play like all of them. Um, but um, I think I like if I were to say like my big genre is like indie. I love indie games
Yeah.
because there's so much. like I like games that give me feelings. Like if a game's gonna make me like cry or be angry or like be like, oh, that's so cute and whatever, and like have feel good, like I want all those things. Like I love
Mm-hmm.
that. Um but then there are games that like I just checked the other day. It actually isn't my top played game anymore, but it was, or top stream game was Rust.
Whoa,
And
yeah, like a survival
um
game.
yeah, and so I've played a lot of survival games, which I never would have expected to be my kind of thing. But to be
Interesting.
fair, I play survival games like Animal Crossing. Like I don't actually I don't
Like
actually like
building.
yeah. Yeah, well we had a private rough server and the rule was like don't
Oh.
kill Kissy. So I just got to like live in the woods and get killed by
Yeah.
bears instead. Um so it was a lot of fun. Like I would go and do my daily Rust thing, and so I did that for a while. And I've played a lot of like other games that are kind of um survival like based,
Yeah.
but yeah, I like stuff like that. Like I like games that choices matter games. I really
Yeah, like Life is
appreciate.
Strange, those kind of games.
Yes. Life is
Yes.
I think the new one is out.
Ooh, True Colors came out. Yeah, I think the
Yeah, I saw
reviews are
somebody was
out. Yeah,
streaming it
yeah.
today.
Whoa, that's
So
awesome.
I was like, I'm lurking because I am dying to play this. So
Yep.
bye. Um, but yeah, like the first one
That's
gave me
awesome.
so many feelings.
I
Like
played,
so
yeah, for Life
many.
is Strange, I played the first one. I played Before the Storm, but then I never played Captain Spirit and 2, unfortunately. But I want to
What's
do at some
Captain
point.
Spirit?
It's like a prequel to 2.
Oh,
It's like a small one chapter game that works as a
ooh.
prequel to the second game.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I watched a friend play oh yeah, I watched a friend play the second one. Um
Whoa, yeah.
but
It's probably
and I
pretty
was
good
just
too, right?
oh yeah, I mean you're watching a movie. You're watching someone play a
Hmm.
movie. Like it's just they're incredible. Incredible games.
When you were mentioning the that you played the survival games like Animal Crossing, I imagine you playing like a survival game like The Forest. I don't know if you have you played The Forest or
I
no.
haven't played The Forest. I've been
Oh, because it's
told
like
to
more
play it.
horror-y. Yeah,
Yeah.
right? There's
Well,
some monsters.
I have a lot of horror games in my backlog because I during uh last last Halloween season Steam
Yeah,
sale,
you got a
I
lot of
went I
games.
went ham. I really did.
Spooky
So,
games? Yes.
oh, I love except they scare the crap out of me. And there's some real weird indie
Oh
ones that
yeah,
you
I
can't
don't
even
even
get on
play
Steam.
them.
There were two I tried to play in a row recently, and I was like, nope. Both on stream, I was like, sorry guys, I can't continue either of
Scary.
these. I'm done.
I
Palette
see.
cleanser. But
And
yeah, of course, is what I want to look at too.
the this is the most important question. Just kidding. But on the top of your head right now, what game would you would recommend people play?
Um, okay. I can't give. Can I give just one?
No,
Oh
you can give more
man.
than one.
Okay.
It's
All
okay.
right.
It's okay. We'll allow
Um.
it.
Okay. Well, if I'm gonna give one, I'll give one that I'm playing now. Um, like so, the Life is Strange games definitely I recommend. Like everybody play that.
Yep.
But if one game I'm playing now that is really interesting and I haven't finished it is Road 96. Um,
Whoa.
it's incredible.
Okay, now
Um,
I need to play it.
it it's a choices matter game. It came out, I want to say like a week or two ago. Um, I think. Um, and it is so cool. Like I watched somebody else play a little bit of it today, and like their first chapter is different than my first chapter.
Oh, I love
Um,
that.
because even when they started them out in a different place. So like um the premise is that it's like you're in a country with a very oppressive government and you're a runaway teenager trying to cross the border to get out.
Yeah.
And so there are all these like people that you meet and these things that you do and different ways that you can try to cross the border. But the soundtrack is insane. Like
Oh.
like just the soundtrack alone makes you feel things. And like the story is just Like,
Yeah,
I
I was
still
gonna
don't know
ask, how's the
exactly what's
story?
going on. But like all of these people are interwoven, and like you just start to piece it all together as you go. And you get like you get a look into like these people's like really like just how intricate and like complex like relationships and the way the way people's lives are.
Yeah,
Um and just the small things that can change when you interact with somebody.
like
It's
everything you
really,
say
really
has
cool.
an impact.
I would say not every single thing. There's usually a little like symbol next to it when
Yeah.
but it will tell you if you've made a decision or
Oh,
if you've done something that that has an impact. And my understanding is that it not only impacts like you as the player, but it impacts what happens to your country that you're leaving on election
whoa.
day,
Yeah.
which is like the culmination of the game. So I haven't gotten there yet. I've gotten a little bit through chapter 2 and there's a bunch of chapters. And I believe there are I think the description boasted thousands of ways, like thousands of roads to take
Yeah.
to get there, cuz like you could say whether you're going to hitchhike, you're going to get on a bus, you're going to get in a taxi, you're going to
I
walk.
guess it's a game to replay as well, right? Since
Yeah.
there's so many possibilities.
Yeah, and I think like once you get through one, it brings you to chapter 2. So you're now a different runaway teen. But you're just it's later in
Oh,
time.
I see. Yeah.
So there's like these individual
Interesting. I
stories
didn't know
that
that.
you
Yeah.
yeah, it's super cool. It's it's just and it's not like what's that other game? Like Detroit Become Human. I haven't played that.
Yeah, I haven't played that as well.
But I've watched people play that, and those are really interesting. Like those choice based games. Um, this doesn't feel as like like heavy or
Impactful? Like, oh,
cumbersome.
heavy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like it doesn't. You don't know what kind of impact your decisions are going to have. Um, or at least from what I can tell.
For
So
now.
it's not like you're sitting there obsessively thinking about which little line of dialogue you're going to say, because it's more so making a decision about what you're going to say as opposed to what you're going to do. Um
I see.
and so it's really I'm still like trying to figure out how it plays out, but I can't recommend it highly enough. I
Oh,
say
that's a
that now.
good.
I mean, talk to me when I finish it, but like
No, but that's an awesome recommendation. I love it because that game has been on my radar. Like, it's on my Steam wish list. So now with this recommendation, I'm like, I
it's
gotta
so
play
good.
it. Yeah, I need to check this
It's
out.
so good.
So
I
when
would
you say
recommend 12.
the,
Oh, go ahead.
oh no, what were you saying?
I was gonna say I would also recommend 12 minutes, but um,
Whoa, interesting.
it's aggravating in a way that really makes sense and is appropriate for the story. But I mean, it's got Willem Dafoe voice acting, so you know it's magical.
Yeah, I heard
Um,
the story is a little weird for that one. I didn't
it's
play it,
uh,
but I got
it's a little
spoilers on it, and
heavy. It's a little heavy and a little weird, um, but it's well done.
oh,
I also
interesting.
haven't
Yeah,
finished it, so I don't know. But
I see.
um, I get distracted by other things.
In regards to the Road 96, when you were mentioning that your opinions, I thought it was really cool because like the comparison with Detroit Become Human is like, in Detroit, you're like really thinking these decisions like how is this gonna impact like there's
Yeah.
a like like the all the decisions are like heavy, but when you said that about Road 96, I felt like you're mentioning that in Road 96 you're literally just living your life. It's like
Yes.
you're there and you're escaping and like it's just there, like there's no right, you don't feel that weight, like, but
Yes.
not in a bad way, like you're just
No, in
living
a good
life
way.
and those
Yeah.
decisions are having an impact in a way.
Yeah, your decisions aren't, do I kill this person? Do I rob this person?
Yeah.
Or do I probably get killed right now? Like it's like do I say, yeah, our president is a jerk, you know, or people should
Oh
vote for
yeah.
the other person, or like, hey, whatever I got to do to get by. Those are kind of like the three sort of responses that seem to pop up together. They're like
Yeah.
kind of along the lines that like sort of fit like, you know, are you a rebel and a fighter? Are you pushing for democracy to win, or
Mm-hmm.
are you just like trying to get the F out?
And
And
saying
so
you whatever you
yeah,
want. Yeah.
yeah. So it's yeah, it doesn't like I don't know what the choices will do for us at the end, so that'll be interesting to see. Um, but I do know that they have an impact. So it's pretty interesting. And yeah, it's just
Nice.
you don't feel like you have to sit there and like make a choice. Like you're just like, and you click one.
It just flows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll definitely check it out. Everyone, check it out. That it convinced me.
It's so good.
That's awesome. For our next segment of questions here, it would be really nice to know a little bit about your like your stream and your channel. So, with the first question is, how did you decide to start streaming?
Well, um, my husband, known as Mr. Kissy, um, decided that it was quarantine time and we had gotten kayaks to go out like to actually do stuff during the summer, but when the weather started to cool down, he's like, I want to get a gaming PC. I'm like, go nuts, get a gaming
Nice,
PC.
yeah.
And so he bought it, and then I was like, well, I want to play too. And he's like, yeah, yeah. And he's like, yeah, you want to try streaming? I was like, yeah, I want to stream. I want to stream. And pretty much since then, he hasn't gotten the PC back.
I love it.
So
It's just yours
yeah, I
now.
mean, hmm?
It's just yours now.
Yeah, that's what he says. I'm like, you can use it. Just let me know, and you can use it. But yeah, I think um I really enjoyed streaming when I got into it, and I still do. Um,
That is
so
amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of mine now.
So
Like not
for how
really, but
long? So for how long now?
so we got the PC in the beginning of October of last year,
Yeah.
and I just checked when my stream anniversary date is, and my first stream was October 17th of last year.
Oh, coming up on the
So
first year very
yeah,
soon. That is
yeah,
awesome.
it's so weird.
Can you I was gonna say, can you tease? Like, is there gonna be a celebration stream or something?
Well, I'm thinking about it. I think we should do that, but I'm also planning a huge Halloween party like stream.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'll probably do like something on the day. But I really want to like have a
The
big
biggest one. Yeah.
Halloween extravaganza stream, costume
Oh.
party or costume contest, multiplayer games, pumpkin carving,
Oh,
literally
love
all the things.
that. Ooh,
Yeah.
everyone, look forward to that. That's gonna be awesome.
So that'll be on the 31st. So that'll be fun.
And nice, yeah. And how is the channel going right now?
Really well. It's absolutely crazy to me.
That's so good to hear.
Like compared like when I started, I was like, I didn't know anything about Twitch really. Like I know that you stream, okay, but like I wasn't like on Twitch in any capacity. Like really, I watched
Yeah.
Twitch streams, but I watched their YouTube videos. So, I had to learn a lot of the vernacular and stuff, and I just I was I was like, "Oh, okay, what's an affiliate? What's a partner? Like, what are all the things mean?" And I was like, "Oh God, I'll never get to affiliate. That's crazy. I'm never gonna have 50 people follow me. Like, that's ridiculous." Um, and here we are, like much further down the line than that, and it's just amazing. And uh, he gets mad at me when I give him credit, but Centurion Gamer, um,
Oh,
was the first like close friend that I met on Twitch. Like he came into my Animal Crossing stream and we hit it off really great, and he introduced me to so many amazing people.
yeah.
So from there, like I feel like that's like I've gotten to make like just absolutely incredible friends and meet amazing people, and I just like I have
I love
feelings every
that.
time I think about
Yeah,
it. I'm like, I love these people so much. Like
for
so
sure.
much.
Yeah.
It makes me so happy.
So the community you're building, uh, like it's super nice. Like, of course it is. I know that, but it's awesome, right? Like the community is already quite, I mean, big. Like it's a big community. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's very wholesome. It's like that's
It
what
is.
that's what a
Yeah.
lot of people say anyway. And I'm like, well, that's what I want. Like um I don't know. I feel like we've all kind of been drawn to one another, like just out of we everybody of course has like different personalities, but everybody is supportive. Like
Yeah.
they're good people. They're caring. They do thoughtful things. They're sweet. They're empathetic. Like um I don't know. It's just like a magical group of people.
It really
and
is.
and like meeting other community, like the way that all the communities, like when you meet somebody new and then
Sprawl and
like all
like
the communities start to like you know
entangle. Yeah.
yeah,
It's really
it's
good.
just a
Yeah.
really cool
Whenever,
thing.
yeah, whenever I raid your channel, it's like you feel the good vibes, like in chat
Oh,
with everyone. Yeah, it's really really
thank
nice.
you. Thank you so much. That makes me so
Of course,
happy.
yeah. And a question that maybe some people are still curious about this. I don't know if we ever mentioned this on stream at some point. How did you came up with the name Kissyplaysgames?
um so my birth name is not too well, I mean, it's close enough, but not quite exactly. But ever since I was born, my parents have called me Kissy.
Oh yeah.
And like that's literally just been, I mean, in my like normal life I go by like my given name, because Kissy is like, I don't know that I'm going to walk into a big meeting and be like, "Hello, I'm Kissy." Like it
I'm
just
Kissy.
sounds
Yeah.
a little, I don't know. Like, oh my god, Nintendo literally, or I guess Pokemon, I don't know. Nintendo, Pokemon, in Unite, I
Oh
forgot that
yeah.
I wanted to go fix this. They removed my name. They told me my name was against their terms of service,
What?
and then gave me like this like
No 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 no
20
no.
20 digits of numbers and letters string, and I was like,
Hello
rude,
Nintendo. That is rude. Excuse me.
rude. So I totally forgot to go. I'm glad that was a good reminder. I totally forgot to go um have words with them about that. But yeah, but so I also have like a million other projects that I like. Um my I have interest in like a million things. So um I I was trying to come up with a name, and something that I'd come up with for something else I was doing was just like Kissy Makes, because I was making stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, what am I doing? I'm playing games. Okay, Kissy plays games.
I
That's
love
what it
it.
is. Like that. Okay,
Yeah.
here we go. So it's not too crazy of a story, um but it's just funny because like I really do go by Kissy. Like Mr. Kissy calls me
Yeah.
that. My mom, my sister, my grandparents, everybody, like my entire family has called me that since like I was literally born.
And the idea of like just saying, "Oh, what am I doing? Playing games." So Kissy plays games, but
Mhm.
then you create this name that it's just like works perfectly. You know, it like it's literal, but it's perfect. You know what I mean? Like it's really really good.
Thank you.
And uh, for people that are not familiar with your channel, the sub badges are really nice,
Thank
which
you.
are some little like I think there's some cats in there too, right? Some cats,
Yes,
little
there's a cat.
dogs. Yes.
There's a cat,
So
a couple dogs.
what's the story behind it? How did you decide to have that as the sub badges?
Um, so when I had some email, that's Smokey. That's one of the speaking of sub badges, that's one of the animals featured
Yeah.
in the sub badges. When I had unlocked some emotes, I had Euphoriatic made all my emotes. She's magical, and but I had her working on a few other ones, or I was like putting together ideas, but I had empty slots, and I'm like, well, I need to put something there. So I just took a couple of random pictures of my animals, and like very
Just yeah.
like you know very new to
Yep.
Photoshop at the time, and made them into emotes. And then Youth was actually the one who gave me the idea, like, because I didn't have sub badges yet. Just like, well, why don't you just use the animals? I was like, done. So
Oh
it was a
yeah.
little bit out of laziness, for not having like actually made sub badges yet.
Yeah.
But they're so cute. I had to keep them. My
Here's a
sweet
question
babies.
though, because the sub badges, the way they work, it's like this is the 1 month, this is the like 3 months, this is the 1 year, right? There's like they evolve. How do you
Yeah,
decide the order on the pets? Do you love a few more pets than others?
I love them all so much.
I know.
Well, and it's funny because at the time I was trying to think of like how long I had been streaming, and I'm like, all right, well, how many people would have a 3 month badge? And
Oh,
like,
yeah.
so I was trying to figure that out. So I don't remember what order I put them in.
There's no
Um,
specific order of like,
no, I
I
think
love
it
you
just,
more. I'm gonna put you over on 1 year.
yeah. Well, like my oldest, the oldest one is Jack. One-eyed Jack. He's the cat. He does have one eye. He's like 18. He's
Whoa.
super old.
Yeah.
Um, and then the youngest one is like 4. The giant dog, Smokey,
Hmm.
the Rhodesian Ridgeback, is 4 years old. So I have like, I've had a long life with Jack. He's like my grumpy old man, my little grandpa. But like, I've had all these animals for like varying amounts, but still, it's like a long time. So I can't choose favorites.
I
So I just
see.
like I think I just dragged like whichever one. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Not like they
It-
know, but still.
exactly. No, you don't want to,
I would
no
know.
favorites. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. The something you mentioned before when we started is that you do some different streams besides gaming. And I think
Yeah.
personally, I think that is awesome. Just like
Thank
the
you.
tarot reading and the kayaking. So, how was the decision of streaming different things?
I don't know. I think I saw like friends of mine doing like art streams. Um, and I knew like people like could stream like stuff like Legos and um I'd seen baking streams and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah,
And God, we went out on the kayaks, and because Mr. Kissy loves fishing. And so we went out on the kayaks um it was like January. It was freezing. There was like no reason
in
to really
January, yeah,
go. I was in like one of those like Carhartt like coveralls that's like made for like freezing winter, bundled up. I
yeah.
had blankets on. Um and there were absolutely no fish to be caught. But Mr. Kissy was the one who suggested, he's like, "Why don't you stream it?" I was like, all right, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So I have a little flexible bendy phone thing, and
Hmm.
now I just do it every time we go out now because people seem to really enjoy it. It was nice to just kind of like, I'll be out for like 3 or 4 hours and just chat with everybody. And it's nice to be outside, and especially with quarantines
I was gonna
being
say, yeah, during
different all
these times,
over.
yeah,
Yeah, like it's a safe place for us to be outside, and then for people who can't go out and do stuff like that,
watching
it's
a
like kind
stream
of a
like
nice
that's,
thing to just like
yeah.
watch and like hear the sounds of the birds and the water. And um
Oh, that is
yeah,
awesome.
and I'm looking forward to fall because everything's gonna look really pretty as the leaves start to change color.
Oh, yeah.
So that'll be really nice.
Were you afraid of how people would react to it in a way?
Not really. um I think I was just like, let's see how this goes. I don't know. Um,
You're
'Cause
doing what you like, basically. You're like, look,
yeah,
I'll do this, and I hope people like it.
yeah. And if nobody shows up, okay, I won't do it again. I'll just,
I see. Yeah.
or if people, well, even then, I'd probably still do it at least one more time. But I think, or if people are like, this is not interesting. You're wasting your phone battery. Like, don't bother. I'd be like, okay, fine, okay, fine. Um, but it's just like, I mean, even though it was freezing that first time, it still felt cozy, you know? Like it was
Yeah,
just
for
like a
sure.
nice sort of meditative kind of thing. So
I think
yeah,
it.
so
Yeah,
I'm
I
I'm
agree
glad
with
that
you. Like
people
it.
enjoy it.
Yeah, it definitely. I don't know. It brings a different like vibe to like the channel like in general, right? Like you have these like real life streaming. You like you're saying like you see the trees and you see the birds, and it's like it's good. Like sometimes it's good to watch something else than a video game, you know? And I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank
And
you.
to talking about these streams more like in detail about them. So like how does the tarot reading stream go?
Oh, I love. So I love the tarot card reading stream. I dress up a little bit. Sometimes a little
Oh.
lazy, but I pretty much dress up. I have like this thing that, well, actually, my little guy here is wearing it, but I have this little thing that a little chain across my forehead, a little crystal tiara.
Yeah.
Skelly's wearing the cape, but the tarot card started out as just like a single card redeem because I was trying to figure out stuff for channel points. So I'm
Oh,
like,
for
okay,
channel points. Yeah.
well, so I'll do like what's my fortune? And it was like, I don't know, it was like a certain amount of points. And I would just draw one tarot card and that would be your fortune. But then people were starting to get really interested in it. And I was like, I started to do like more cards and do like
Oh,
more
yeah.
detailed readings. And then it was just like it takes a lot of time, like
Evolved
more
into
than you
a
think. Yeah. So instead of having it like pop up and like really interrupt like the flow of a stream, like if somebody's there to watch a specific game and like especially if it's story driven and you're like into it, or if you're playing a game with other people, like you're not going to stop for 20 minutes to do a tarot card reading.
yeah.
So we moved it to Sundays for self-care Sunday. And now and I don't even like charge channel points for it. At the moment it's 1 point. That way I
Yeah.
can just see it in a queue. But they go so well. And like what I love about tarot cards is that no matter where you fit on the spectrum of belief or disbelief, like whether you think they're like really are a sign or like words from the
Hmm.
universe, or whether you think it's totally random and doesn't mean anything, no matter where you are in that spectrum, like you can take what it says, take what's on those cards, and use it to think about your life or like the things that you're going through.
Reflect. Yeah.
Yeah, in like a different way. Um, but I will say a lot of time, like a lot of the readings that I do, people are like I
Like,
need to talk to you later. Like this is spot on. What that like what those things are magic. I'm
is
like
that
ah,
something?
makes me so giddy.
Yeah. Is that something you've been passionate for a long time?
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess when I was like 7, I was checking out like weird occult and witchcraft books from my local library. So I think I had my first deck
Like
of
all
tarot
teenagers
cards when I
do.
was like 11. Um, so
Yeah.
like I've always been into like I just find it fascinating. Um, so yeah, I've always been interested in it, but like before this I never really read tarot cards for other people. Like I have on occasion, but usually it was just like for like self-reflection, and then if like a random friend was like, "Hey, can you do a reading?" Like, "Okay."
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly it was just as like just a self-care kind of thing. So
Hmm.
I like being able to share that with other people.
Yeah. Sharing like one of your passions with on stream. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about Self Care Sunday later on.
All right.
For now, with this other question, how is the kayak stream? Like, how is the? I mean, like, is the setup a little difficult? Like, does the internet holds up? And how does the stream goes
It's
as well?
it's actually not bad. Some places that we go when the service you know, dips down a little bit, sometimes I'll disconnect, but we do have 5G out here.
Yeah.
And I just use my iPhone. I stream using the Streamlabs app.
Oh,
Streaming through the Twitch app has never worked for me. So,
interesting.
but the Streamlabs app is great. Um, and yeah, I connect the little phone holder thing to the bottom of my kayak seat, like bend it this way, and like go live, and like that's sort of it. Um, yeah, the
And you
only
can
thing
read chat.
challenging
That's
is like,
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can read chat, but you can't really type in chat. So I have to like go into the Twitch
Oh,
app to
that's
raid.
true.
But it's still great. Like it's a great option. And like the quality seems to be like to hold up, and it's pretty easy. Like it's nice. I get all my stuff in the kayak. I get in the water. I spend like 2 minutes like typing in the things and hitting live,
Yeah.
and I'm good to go. So it's nice that the setup is so simple.
And it makes the kayak experience even better, I suppose, because you're like chilling with other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, I like being able to share it. Like there's something really beautiful about that to me.
And did
So
you mention how long the streams go to?
usually they go as long as my phone is charged.
Oh,
So
I see.
that seems to be between 3 and 4 hours, which still feels really still seems pretty good considering like you're
True, because
uploading
you're
data
literally
that whole
doing.
time.
Yeah. Did you
So
ever like didn't say goodbye? Like you didn't realize it was gonna die, and then the phone just died, and you're like, ah.
no, I'm when it gets down to like 10%, I'm like, all right, guys, it's time to start wrapping up because I
I
know that
see.
it's like almost time. And then I'll check it. But yeah, I try. I think the lowest I've gotten it to is like 3% and still managed.
Really risking it. Yeah.
Yeah. But now I have now I have like a one of those I haven't used it yet, but
Portable.
I did get like a
Oh,
portable charger, like the
yeah.
power banks.
You
Um
basically could do double the time if you
yeah.
wanted to.
Yeah. But I haven't had to use it. I'm like 4 hours on the water is probably enough for everybody.
True. Could like do double. It's like a 6 hour stream now on
Oh
the
my
water. It's
god.
like, okay, that's too
Yeah.
much.
Like that's a lot.
Yeah. And we mentioned the stream on Sunday, self care Sundays,
Yes.
and mental health is a big part of your channel.
Mhm.
And people, you also have the bot that reminds
Yes.
everyone, right? Like how important it is. I must say, like personally, I like really like that. It's really good to be in chat and see these messages popping up because, like, someone needs it. Like someone could be
Yeah.
there, and I think it's really cool. So, how do you talk about that? How do you talk about mental health on stream? And also, does that play a role on the self care Sundays as well? Is that like the special day for it?
Well, I think at any point, if anybody has anything that like, if anybody's dealing with something or comes in and like, says that maybe they need, like, I want to make people know that like it's a safe space,
Yeah,
and that like, we take mental health like seriously, and we treat each other with care and respect and empathy, um, and some people just need to know that there are people that will listen or whatever it might be. So depending on unless it's something very very like something that might be incredibly triggering for other people,
yeah,
um in general we like to just let people say how they're feeling, and if anybody has any advice, like, you know I love for people to give that. And um it's just like it's also like nice for like especially like on self-care Sunday, like, but every other day too, like, your 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 mental health shouldn't be challenged in any way,
for sure.
by what's going on. Like it's a safe space. if if you're having like a hard time, like, we're here to talk to you. Like, and that's why, but like there's a line that you have to be careful of too, because like I'm not a licensed professional in any way, and I don't claim to
True.
be.
Yeah.
And the same goes for anybody else in chat, unless they actually are, but I don't think that there is anybody. Um, and so that's why I have the links for like the mental health resources, um, because there are a lot of resources out there, and like we can all, everybody has like experience, no matter how old or where we come from or whatever, or different experiences with life and mental health
Yeah.
and whatever it might be, and so everyone has some advice to give, which, is usually good advice. But at the same time, it's important that,
Yeah.
we can give the advice based on what's worked for us or what we've seen work for other people.
Yeah. And
Um,
reminding people is definitely really good, I think,
yeah,
because mental health is like really important. It's not something to just like put to the side, like don't care about it. No, like you need
yeah,
to care about that. It's really, really important.
yeah, and because I mean, as time goes on, I know we try to chip away at the stigma around mental health. Um, but there still is that stigma,
Yeah. A little bit.
in varying degrees and for different types of people. And like, sometimes we put that stigma on ourselves, like on it ourselves. Um, but I think that one of the best ways to continue to chip away at that, is to just talk about it. It's one of the best
100%.
things we can do. Yeah.
Yeah. yeah, that like I need to find a way to incorporate something like that as well because yeah, I really look up to you for that. It's like
Oh,
it's really
thank
cool.
you.
Just you saying right now like the way to kind of end the stigma around it and everything. It's like talking about it really and just
Yeah.
making people realize that it's something that we should talk about and take care of. Most
Yes.
importantly,
Yes. It's very important.
yeah, I love the meme where there's like society. You know, there's like this meme where like there's a photo of like super futuristic city, and people are always like, "This is what society would be if something happened." Like that's the meme.
Yeah.
And there was one like, "This is what society would be with if all of our parents had went through therapy." And then it's like that future, like, and I'm like, "Yep, that's 100% it." Like for sure.
Oh my God, that's so true.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody, like, I can't recommend therapy highly enough, like, for everyone.
Yeah.
I know,
It's really
people
important.
respond differently, but still, I think it's great. Like, I
Yeah.
really do.
We got to work to get that future, everyone, for the next
Mm-hmm.
generation.
Yes.
Let's do
Yes.
it. Now, switching gears a little bit, something that fascinates me also in regards to your channel is Destiny Day because I'm a Destiny 2 player and it is really like funny and cool to hear just like some voice in the background like playing Destiny and I recognize the words. I'm like, "Oh, I know exactly what that means because I play the game." And recently you started playing it too.
I
So
did.
how do you like it? And if you want, you can also explain what Destiny Day is.
Okay. Well, Destiny Day is well, it's basically I have a command on my channel that that was created that basically says like, it's like, "Hey guys, it's Destiny night. Stream will feature Mr. Kissy in the background playing Destiny, like don't be alarmed or don't mind it, and it's just funny because the couch our and like the PC are just a few feet away from each other.
Yeah.
So like we both, we sit in the same room. Like he can play his PS5. I can stream or play games here. And so you know, as a Destiny player, I'm sure you know that,
Oh
yelling
yeah. A
yelling
lot.
about stuff,
Yeah.
um, yelling at your friends, yelling at people who aren't your friends, yelling at the TV, yelling because you're excited, like whatever it might be. Because they're like Destiny is so complicated. Like to me, like watching like some of the ways that like Mr. Kissy like helps coordinate things to get the stuff done. I'm like
Oh
I'm like this
yeah.
this game is so complicated. Um, but I did start playing because it became crossplay,
Oh, true.
and
Yeah.
that's really the only reason why.
I see.
Um, and so like a bunch of people in our community were like, "Are you gonna play?" And I'm like I could. I don't know
Okay.
if I'm gonna be any good at it. And I actually haven't played with Mr. Kissy yet. He's at a whole other level though, and I don't want to I don't want to hold him back. But I know that he's said he'd be happy to play. So at some point, we will
But you
play
like so you
together.
like it then?
I do. I don't think that I have what's the word? Like the attention span or the
Oh,
dedication
I see.
to
Dedication's probably the word. Yeah, that game demands
yeah,
a lot of it.
yeah, to keep up, you know?
The
Because I
will to
literally
actually grind all those levels and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
I don't like to do very grindy things.
Hmm.
Um, but I do enjoy it. And I
Yeah, the
will
shooting
say,
is fun, right? The pew pew is
yeah,
fun.
the pew pew. Um, well, and it's funny because so I've always been bad at first person shooter games. Always. Never been good at it. Like from GoldenEye on my N64 to everything until then. I could not aim, but like that's because it was controllers.
Ooh, yeah.
I start playing on PC and I'm like, oh,
Like I'm actually a god at this. I'm
I
actually
can
the
kind of
best
no,
player.
no. Not pro, not pro. But like I could actually like kind of do this and going from Valorant to Destiny, it's a lot easier to aim in Destiny
For sure.
to me. So I was like, oh, maybe I am okay at this game. And then, play one game against other people and you're like, never mind. Like,
Oh no, Destiny PvP is like, nope, I'm good. Yeah.
insane. I only did one because it told me to, because I was new.
Oh yeah.
I was like, this is terrible. I am
I am
terrible at
never.
this.
Yeah, you're like, I'm never gonna step into the PvP ever again.
No. I'm just like, but I've always thought the game was interesting, because of the level of lore
Oh yeah, the lore is
and I
great.
always like the names of the guns and stuff.
Oh yeah, they do a good job. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. But yeah, I'll play some more. I'll definitely play
Yeah,
some more.
that's awesome. I think you're gonna have a good time. Like the game is good, and I think there's fun to be had, even if you're not up for like the grindy stuff. There's still some
Yeah.
things you can do just to have fun and to be honest, that's the maybe the best way to play because if you're doing like the grinding stuff, it's a little tiring.
Yeah. I know
But there's
that
fun there too. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, it's true. Listen, if I can figure out how to follow the map properly, I'll be fine. Um
that's on the game.
no, I'm not great at following that map. I'm like, where am I
It's a little
going?
rough.
Where am I going?
Yeah.
But get better. Progress happens. So that's something.
That's awesome. And not to bring it down a little because we are having a lot of fun, but I like to include this question because it's important to talk about it. Because yeah, the unfortunately the internet today is not really a safe space,
Yeah.
and even less for women. And the question here is, did you ever face any problems since you started streaming? Did you have like people in chat saying awful things? Like, do you have those kinds of problems?
Oh yeah. Um
It
yeah, I
hurts,
mean,
I really want a day where the answer is no, like no, I didn't, but it's so sad that those things
yeah.
still happen.
Um people target people for various reasons,
Yeah.
none of which are good, but like I've definitely had it. I had a very aggressive uh situation when I was playing Rust on the private server
Whoa.
once, where after an update the whitelist got messed up, and so random people jumped in and they were yelling weird things at me. They found my stream. It
No.
was like
Yeah.
very, very it shook me a little bit. But mainly I'm like, I've dealt with people like this in real life. Like I know how to handle like creepy abusive people.
Mm-hmm.
Um I feel bad for like the like women, especially like the younger women that like or women with less experience dealing with that they're going to go target next.
They might not have the a thick skin, like the thick skin that you had. Maybe they won't,
Yeah.
and you can like they might get affected. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't like I've heard um multiple like women that I know that stream, like maybe they're of them or like a friend of theirs that's like they had to end stream because they were crying because like somebody
Oh, that
wouldn't stop trolling them in chat or like whatever it might
makes me
be.
mad. It's like, ugh, it's super sad.
Yeah, it's a lot. I think I have incredible mods. Um and the nice thing about having mods that are amazing and also like on the same page as you with that stuff is you don't have to be the jerk, you know,
Yeah.
to be like bye, but you still can be. But they can tell people like, hey, um you can't talk like that or you got to go or just
Yeah,
bye.
for sure.
So yeah, and a lot of times, especially with the way things are now, but there's a lot of ban and ask questions later.
Oh,
um
I see. Yeah.
like we've had, there's actually someone who came into chat who had like a a somewhat comical name, or like a comical name, but it felt like it could have potentially been a trolley kind of name. And so
Yeah.
they got blocked or they got banned, and then they sent like a really nice message, and I responded back to them, and we actually went back and forth, and I apologized and explained, to them
I
how
mean,
like
yeah, it's just how
what
the
the
internet
environment's
is.
like.
Yeah.
And they were so sweet and so understanding, and they come to my streams now and they say hello, and it was just really, really sweet.
Nice. Yeah.
That people are so understanding. But it's hard to it like you can't really it's hard to prevent a lot of that stuff from
For
happening.
sure. Yeah.
Especially on the individual basis, like it's a random person comes in or here or there, but I know especially
Yeah.
recently with some of the other stuff that's going on, where like specific communities are being targeted, like specific tags are being targeted.
Oh, yeah. We
Um,
talked about it last week. Yeah.
yeah. Um, well, I don't know if you saw in the news. I saw it right before we started. I saw that Twitch is suing two unnamed people.
Yes, I saw
Um,
that.
so yeah. So I guess there's some sort of thing going on, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we just do our best to help each other, and
And
when
hope that
we
one day, yeah.
yeah. But it is difficult. Like people say awful things, and if you have a certain tag on your stream, they had people come in like ranting and raving about God knows what, like trying to
Yeah.
trying to say what, and I'm uh, like I'm a really nice person. I'll give people a second chance, even depending on what it is. Um, but like a lot of times, like people come in like a small group. I've had that a lot where
Oh,
you get like
damn,
three
really?
three people at once, two or
Yeah.
three people at once that come in together. Um, they don't like it when you make fun of them though. Like if you ask them if they're bored and if they need something to do,
Yeah.
um, or
I
like
mean, why are they there? It's like,
yeah,
exactly. I
like
mean, I'm
or if you
hopeful.
ask them where their parents are, like they don't love that.
I could imagine.
So
But still.
sometimes it's fun to then they call you names though. Then they go all out. And then it's like, well, bye.
Bye, bam.
Um yeah, exactly. So I think you have to try to let it like roll off your back a little bit, which isn't really the right answer, right? Like the
Yeah,
right answer is like people shouldn't act like that. People should not be harassing other people. They should not be abusive. They should not be um any of those really terrible things to anybody else. And like it's one of those things where like you have to stop the problem, like and not tell people how to avoid the problem.
for sure.
um it's like the I guess we'll say killed in this case, but like it's not hey, don't kill people. It's like, hey, here's how to not get killed. um and that applies to all sorts of things. But yeah, but we have to do what
Yeah,
we can anyway.
for sure. I'm
um
hopeful that one day the situation will get better.
yeah,
I really hope
I think
so.
it will. I definitely think it will. um yeah, I think what we said it kind of earlier, technology evolves very quickly. So,
Yeah,
um, you know, this like Twitch and all that, like, the way that we interact on social media is still very, very new.
true.
So like in the grand scheme of things, so the way that people act is, you know,
Yeah,
you
that's a
never
good
really
side to
know.
it. Yeah.
So yeah, but I think there are, I mean, I know that there are more good than bad people out there.
True.
So, um, we
I like to
just
think that as well. Yeah.
protect each other. We do what we can to keep our communities strong, and hope to set examples for other people and see that, like, all right, if you're lonely and bored, you don't have to be a jerk on the internet. Like, go find some friends that like will actually care about you
Yeah.
instead of like being angry
And harassing
at the
someone.
world.
Yeah. For this last segment of questions here, for this portion of the show, there's still the other half, everyone. But just for these final questions, which are more like towards your life, and just like for us to get like a small peek. So the first question here would be, do you have a job outside streaming?
Um, Normally, yes. I actually am in between right now. Due to COVID, my company did a like a large layoff.
Oh, I
Um,
see.
so I am currently looking for my next place, but yeah, I do I work in like a corporate environment, so
I see.
I do and like a um technology area, so I do like business requirements, like functional requirements, and like kind of work as a liaison between like the business and the developers of the
Oh
systems.
yeah.
And then I also do business process improvement, continuous process improvement, like Six Sigma, Lean, all that stuff. So um, it's
That is awesome.
it's interesting. It can be interesting.
Hmm.
It can definitely be interesting. I like the process improvement stuff just because you can like find problems and fix them,
Yeah.
which is something that I enjoy doing. You know, that the whole problem solving kind of thing feels a little bit like a game almost. You know, you're
Oh
trying to
yeah.
figure out like, use what you have and what you can get and solve a problem. So, um,
Puzzle game.
yes, exactly. And I love puzzle games.
Nice. So I really hope really hope you find it. Really hope you
Oh,
find this
thank
next
you.
opportunity. Yeah. Guess the pandemic really messed it up for a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's nice, I had the luxury of having some time um in the beginning of that to, have a little time off to like see my family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, um but yeah.
Nice. And here on the show, I am passionate about music. I love, like, I'm always listening to music all the time. So I like to ask the guest, what have you been listening to lately, if anything?
Um well, as oh no, the fly is back. There's a fly.
Oh
Um
no.
as sort of the nature of Twitch goes, I find myself ending up like listening to just non-DMCA playlists like like on stream.
Yeah.
Which kind of stinks because then I don't listen to other stuff as much. But um, as like a big indie rock kid, so like I go back and listen to some of the stuff that I used to listen to, like Rilo Kiley, um, oh god, uh, The Promise Ring, Just to Brazil, like that's stuff from like high school or stuff. Um, but I try to listen to a bunch of different things,
Hmm.
depending. I like get I'll get real into like some of those weird like focus, like not quite classical playlists on Spotify.
Oh
That is like
yeah.
they're like genre bending, which I'm really into. Um, and then I have my guilty like my go-to guilty pleasures, and I've been told in the past like don't call them guilty pleasures because if you like them, that's okay. So I'll listen to Britney, I'll listen to some T Swift, um,
Nice. Yeah, that's not
but
guilty pleasure.
no,
You if you like
free
them.
Britney.
Free Britney. She's
Um,
almost free, I believe.
but I'm kind of sort of obsessed with Lil Nas X.
Ooh,
Um,
the album comes out next week. I
oh my god,
cannot
it
wait.
does.
Yeah, I cannot wait.
It's so good. It's so good. I love him so much. Um, and then actually Harvey just played for a couple of us the other day or recommended us Joyner Lucas,
Oh, never
who
heard of it.
I didn't realize he did a track on the with Eminem on Eminem's like most recent album, but
Yeah.
um Joyner Lucas has some like incredible songs, and the music videos are
Oh, I need
like
to check it out.
they have you feeling like you have feelings. Like one of the songs like had like goosebumps for like 10 minutes afterwards. Um
Damn.
it's like he talks about heavy, like very heavy stuff. So
Yeah.
trigger warning for some of it, but very, very heavy stuff, but in like this really brilliant way.
Mm-hmm.
Um and so I'm like, oh, all right. Like I'm super into this right now. Um but yeah, I
Awesome.
pretty much listen to anything. But those are like the two that I'm like really, really into at the moment.
Yeah, I'll take those as recommendations. Like, I'll
Yeah.
definitely go listen to it. I mean, Little Nas X, I love. And what's the other one again?
Joyner Lucas.
Joyner Lucas, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yes, it's
I'm
good. It's
intrigued.
really good.
For me, like the only thing that I can't stop listening to right now is the new Halsey album.
Oh, I
Halsey
haven't
released an
listened to the new
album.
Halsey album
It's
yet.
really,
Is it
really good. I
good?
really like it. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
really, really good. Because next week, next Friday, I'll be nonstop Little Nas X for like
Ah,
at
I
least a
can't wait.
week. Yeah,
I
because
can't
then
wait.
I don't know if you're familiar with Alessia Cara. She's
Yes.
singing Here. Like Here
Yes.
is like
Yes.
her
Yes. Yes.
most famous song. But yeah, her
Yeah.
new album comes out on the 24th, which is a week after Little
Ooh.
Nas S. So I'm like, yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
just gonna,
exciting.
yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
For our last question here, uh, for this segment, do you have other passions? I guess you kind of touched on them a little bit throughout the show. What are your other passions beside gaming, like board games, movies?
I I have a tendency to love all the things. Um, like if it's something
That's
I can
awesome.
get
Yeah.
into, I'm like all about it. I mean, I'm like playing and writing music specifically. It was a big passion of mine. Like I started playing like flute and piccolo since I was like 10. I play guitar and keys, ukulele, some other things that I can't remember off the top of my head, but and I like to write music as well. So I do a lot of that, writing and recording music. Um, I get uh I've done a lot of like arts and crafts projects and like getting into like
Oh
painting
yeah.
with acrylics or doing pour painting, or I have a whole workshop in the garage designed for me to carve and airbrush my own fishing lures and tie fishing flies. Um and and oh, another thing that I really enjoy also is writing fiction. Um
Whoa,
so
that's
I have a
awesome.
lot of fiction, mostly unfinished, that I've written every year. Month of November is NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. It's like a challenge to write 50,000 words of a novel in the month, which is I've never
Yeah.
completed. I've gotten close, but I've never completed because it's a
But you
lot of
participated
words.
on it.
Yeah, because it's like almost 1,800 words a day.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, so that's a lot. Um, but yeah, I've written a lot of like either short pieces, uh, chunks of larger pieces that I haven't finished. But
Do you
yeah,
plan on eventually finishing them?
yeah, I
Or
think so.
nice.
Some of them, there's one that you know, you end up being like, no, this isn't how that character would act at all. I need to scrap this whole section,
Yeah.
and so that's like, oh my God. But it's nice because like I don't know, you feel like you can work some stuff out too, and with writing, like writing is very therapeutic, even if it's
For sure.
like fiction. Um and it's a good way to challenge yourself too. Um I had a therapist who challenged me to write stuff that was a little bit darker.
Whoa,
Like
yeah.
to get comfortable with those feelings that are uncomfortable. Like write stuff that like write horror, like
Yeah.
write stuff that's scary. Like really get in touch with like what those feelings are, and how to
That's
express
amazing.
them.
Yeah.
um and so it's really cool. I really enjoy writing. So with all the things, I have a tendency to like jump. I do one thing for like a while, like really hard,
I
and then I'll
see.
go on to the next thing, and then the next, it's just like small obsession after small obsession, but I always return to them. So
That's awesome.
so it's a lot of fun, yeah. But yeah, and I know you mentioned like board games. When I get together with my family, like my mom and my sister and everybody, we play a lot of games. Um, it's always fun the first time you play something like Cards Against Humanity with your mother.
Oh,
Um, it's
I can
it's
imagine.
incredible,
Yeah.
incredible. So, but yeah, just It's
Nice. Yeah, I love
a
that.
lot of fun.
This was awesome.
Yes,
This interview
thank
section was the
you.
best.
You're
Thank
the
you again.
best.
Yeah, you're the best.
No,
this
you.
this was really really good. Now we're gonna move everyone into our next segment, which we talk about some gaming news for the week, some recent gaming news. There's this whole lore about this segment, and I'll definitely not get into it because it gets really convoluted, and yeah, no one understands it. So I think I need to figure something out on how to tell it better, and then the lore will be back. Maybe I can throw in a tease. No, not even a tease. I'm gonna really put some work into the lore, but I really want a lore behind this.
I
The
like that.
idea, yeah, the idea is that this whole segment, I'm just gonna say this. This whole segment is about the sweet, the meat, and the spice. So the idea is that there's this business model of the sweet meat and spice is just everyone uses it. So that's just the backstory to it. And I like to get it to the guest. So today for you, you are visiting Nook's Cranny. And Tommy and Timmy,
Ooh.
they're selling three things. They're selling the sweet, the meat, and the spice. And you have to buy all of them. As soon as you stepped on like inside the shop, you literally signed a paper saying like you have to buy those three things. You cannot go if you don't get those three
I
things.
love that.
But you can choose the order in which you buy them. So you can choose the sweet, the meat, or the spice. And everyone, these are
Hmm.
the gaming news we're gonna talk about. So yeah, which one you pick first?
I am vegetarian, but let's start with the meat.
But yeah, the meat being not necessarily meat, but let's say
I
the
know.
special. Yeah. So the meat for today is God of War. That's it. That's the meat for today. Okay,
All
just
right.
kidding though. I'm like, I wanted it to be just like it's God of War. That's it. But jokes aside, during the PlayStation Showcase, Sony unveiled the first gameplay trailer or trailer in general for the sequel of God of War 2018. I personally think that the 2018 game is like perfect. To me, the game's like a 10. And Sony always tends to deliver when it comes to showcases and games. And I'm totally not biased using a PlayStation shirt right now, but but the general consensus uh, and being where I'm getting this information is the Geoff Keighley's Twitter polls that he always does in regards to like the showcase. He always asks people like, "Did you like this showcase? Like, what are you gonna grade this?" And then people give it a grade between A and D. And it shows that most people, like the Sony showcase, for example, everyone voted A, this recent showcase from yesterday. And from the Xbox Gamescom presentation that they did, everyone voted D.
Wow.
So the discussion that I had to bring today for the meet is, do you think this Sony success, the success they're having right now, could generate a good change in the industry in the way that, like, what I mean by this is like, by Sony having this success, do you think Microsoft is going to invest into trying to be what Sony is today, kind of thing?
I think that's a great question. Um, I so having a PlayStation in the house as well, probably leaves me a little biased, even though it's Mr. Kissy's and I don't really use it much. But um, we've been a PlayStation household for a while, so yeah, also a little biased. But from what I saw about with the PlayStation showcase, I mean, the showcase itself was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like everything was really well done. It was put together. Like you know, whether or not everything's going to be good or not, like outside of that, it was I thought it was a really well done showcase. Like there were some things to get excited about. There were things that looked like gorgeous.
Yeah.
You know, some things that like sort of left you like wanting to know more. I felt like more so than maybe we might see in some of the ones that we get for Xbox. And I would say that, I mean, Microsoft and Sony have been like going at it with this for a
A
long time
long,
now.
yeah.
Um, so I would say that um, while both companies are going to have their sort of dedicated base, like there's going to be like the some people that are like always this or always that. Um, I don't know. I think that I would imagine that they
Better each other in a way.
yeah, like to keep the competition, like, you know, you have to try to outdo the competition, and I would imagine that if the feedback that Microsoft is getting after this is that, hey, um
This is working, like what they're
yeah,
doing.
like Sony, everybody, is praising, this showcase, and ours is like, meh. Like, at the very least, they need to like up their game with,
I agree. Yeah.
even if it's just that. Like, they may not need to change the games, they may not need to do anything of real value, like for us. Um,
Yeah.
but I would imagine as a result of seeing the competition be um uh I don't know,
I
get
was gonna
get
say
better like
yeah,
feedback.
innovative, but like yeah, just getting better. Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine that. Yeah, I think that they do have to um think about how they present information, because I mean, objectively, like, maybe, let's say that like what Microsoft has to offer is better than what Sony has to offer. Like
But how they
like coming
show
up.
it,
Yeah, we wouldn't know that.
I
And so
see.
you
Yeah.
have to like display, like, I mean, they could both be, like, if you look at how they put things out, if you gave them the same game and Sony
How
makes
they
it look
market it.
better,
Yeah.
like, yeah. So I
I
think
see. That's a good point.
and
Yeah.
I think it speaks to listening to your customers and the people that are invested in your product.
Here's
Um
a twist then though, because uh just getting on what you're saying right now too is like, could this also make Sony think that they are untouchable and that actually leads
mm,
to their downfall of bad decisions? Because I think that could happen. Like I really think that Sony's in a place right now that they seem like they're untouchable, like, oh, we're just on top, nothing's gonna take us right now. And
yeah.
I think that I really think that could happen. Like I think it's a possibility. What do you think?
I actually think that that's a very like a very good I don't know, observation. I I think you're absolutely right. I think that um you have to be careful not to get too arrogant. um
Yeah.
just because, I mean, but I do think that people in the business probably understand that success is kind of fleeting if you don't work to maintain or continue.
We hope
Although
they do.
I know you had some conversations about Nintendo on a
Yes,
past show about like how, like, does Nintendo ever feel like they're going to need to up their game? And I know Nintendo, I feel like
yeah,
is its own beast. Um
for sure.
but between Xbox and Sony, I do think that yeah, like, that's a possibility. Um do I think that do I think that's like Sony would let that be a major downfall for them? No. I
I
think if
see.
anything, they would just come back again. Like, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like it's just going to be this constant, like, the two,
Yeah,
for at least the foreseeable future.
I agree. Yeah, this fear of mine is just because there was some news about Sony remaking the original Last of Us, and I'm like,
Oh, yes.
and I was like, why? Like they were canceling other projects, like new IPs and stuff, to redo the first Last of Us, and I was just like, I think that's, to me that seemed like them being cocky and just being like, oh, we're just gonna remake this. We're not gonna take any risks. We're just gonna remake
Yeah.
this popular game. While Microsoft out there is like buying new studios, making new
Yeah.
things, and I'm like, I'm really feel like we're gonna see Microsoft rising up a little bit. And I think if Sony takes some bad decisions in the future, they might stumble a little bit. That's where that question comes from. Just that fear of like, ooh, I think that we might see a shift here in the industry, kind of.
Well, and I wonder though if that's cockiness, or if it's like um I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like trying to be safe. Like
Oh,
like
yeah,
because, like, for example, Last of Us 2 did really well. So do they say, "Oh, well, we know we have this huge fan base around this game. We can spend less money, use less resources, and redo, whatever,
Yeah.
re-release, update the first one, knowing that we pretty much are guaranteed quite X amount of money, whatever they can estimate.
Because they are a
And
business
then,
after all. Yeah.
yeah. So is it arrogance, or is it the opposite of arrogance? Or is
Just
it
being
both?
safe. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. You raise really good questions. Yeah. That's a good point. It could be them just playing safe. Like, oh, we're here. Let's not risk it just to stay
Yeah.
here. Yeah, I can see that.
But then it's like, oh, well, we're here, so we don't even really need to do much. So like I could see both.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
that's interesting. Yeah.
interesting. It's
I
very
like that.
interesting.
For sure. Okay, that was awesome. Really like that. And what do you want next? The sweet or the spice?
Oh, spice.
Ooh, nice. So we finally got some Bayonetta 3 news, kind of. And the first question is, have you ever played Bayonetta?
No, I have not.
Oh.
I have
So
not.
just a small explanation then. Bayonetta is would everyone call it I think it's like a hack and slash game, but if you close your eyes and think of like Devil May Cry, like the style of game I'm talking about. So it's like
Yeah.
that genre of game, and you play as a witch. You would love Bayonetta.
Yeah, I
You
love
play
that.
as a
I love
witch,
that.
and the powers like like Bayonetta literally have guns on her high heels. It's
Yes.
like it's the best. Like that game is perfect.
Oh man, I need it.
It's
I
so
need
good.
it.
Being it's just like it's super fun playing that game because like whether that's good or not, that's not the discussion right now, but Bayonetta is really sexualized through the games.
Mm.
Like when she does her power, she loses all her clothes, but then her hair becomes her clothes kind of
Oh
thing,
my god.
but it's super fun because like I'm like being gay myself, but I'm looking Bayonetta do those things and I'm losing my mind. I'm like, go Bayonetta, you're the best. Like
It's just
it's
like,
really she slays. Bayonetta
yeah,
slays. She's the
yeah.
best. So it's like a really fun game. The story is really good too. So for these news that we got just now for Bayonetta 3, I highly recommend it. Please play those games. I think you're gonna love it. So the developer said, and I quote, "It's not our decision what to say and when to say it," like in regards to the game. And they also said, and I quote, "As much as everyone is clamoring to see it, we are really, really waiting to release it too." So what we get from this is that Nintendo is the one responsible for doing all that, for talking
Mm.
about the game and showing trailers and all that. And it seems like the developers are eager to do that, but Nintendo is holding them off a little. So do you think showing that game, so Bayonetta 3 was shown in 2017?
Oh, wow.
Yes, 2017. So do you think that showing that game all the way back in 2017 and then not mentioning it for this long, do you think that's like a good decision? Like just like you show the game and then you never talk about it again?
I I wonder what the backstory, like, I wonder what the thing is that we'll never find out the answer to, which is like what happened on the business side in between there,
Yeah.
because, I mean, Nintendo typically seems to make very good business decisions, or for the like, financially like lucrative. They make a lot of good business decisions.
For sure.
And I don't I don't see, especially that's so long ago. So I wonder what happened that prevented them from wanting to show more of it, like earlier. Like
Like
did
there
they
must be a reason, right?
yeah, like is it that maybe the people at a certain level either weren't happy with the direction or wanted to
Oh,
change
yeah.
something, thought it could be better, um or was it like other games became a bigger priority, so like let's focus our resources on this game
Oh,
and that game, and we're going to put this one on the back burner.
I
um
see. Because they're spending a lot of money with marketing as well. So like maybe they're wanting to
yeah.
focus on another games. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
So, I wonder if maybe somebody important quit. Like, who knows? Like I wonder, I guess it could be a million things, but I don't I I don't know. I feel like I would imagine that it wasn't their plan to like talk about it in 2017 and then not for a few years.
I
Like
see.
I
Oh
don't think that
yeah.
was planned.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Good point.
did they handle it properly? You know,
Like,
or the
yeah.
best way? Who knows? But I mean, I could be
Now,
totally wrong, but
I
that
was gonna
would
ask
be my guess.
you, yeah, like if a game you're really, really excited about got announced, but then you never heard from it from years, you know, like that's a little, right? It's a little like sad is not the word, but like it's
Like, but
like,
I
where
was
is
so
it?
excited. Where are you?
Yeah,
Like, what
exactly.
is happening? When do I get this? And
Exactly.
I get that like, game
I feel
development and takes time and
for sure. I
but
also think
like,
that it's the company being guilty. I see that side a little bit too. I think I talked it uh a few weeks ago too of like Sony showing God of War last year and then putting a 2021 on it. And it's like, that game is not, it's like they knew this game was not going to come out this year, but they still put that date over there. And I think that could be the
yeah,
same thing with Bayonetta, which is like, let's announce this game right now because it's going to hype people up. This console's going to sell, but this game is not
yes,
even, like, this game is still on people's minds. Like, it's not even started development, like that kind of thing.
yeah. Well, and that's a good point too. When mentioning like console sales because I don't remember when I don't remember when Switch originally launched, but yeah, like I mean, you have these like franchises, especially that have very solid fan bases. Um, you're gonna get people hyped up to buy the console,
Yeah,
and so
Switch
I
launched on,
wonder.
it's a 2017. It's from 2017, yeah.
Oh, that's why then. That
Which
totally
is,
makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, now that totally makes sense to me because I'm sure they had a nice long list of like all the different kinds of games that
Right? I think
they
it
were gonna
is.
do. Like that would actually make sense to me.
And then you hype up the console launch. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting, yeah. But I like your take where you mentioned that it's just like a million things could have happened. Like maybe the plan wasn't that and
Yeah.
things happen. Yeah, yeah. Because the thing is like the developers we'll never know, I suppose, like because the developers I think every year they used to just say something like it's going fine. Like it
Yeah.
was all we're gonna hear about the game, and I was like, it's going fine, but we don't know if it's actually going fine.
Yeah.
Like we don't know what's going what's going on behind the scenes. So yeah, I like that point a
True.
lot.
Well,
I
and
mean,
I guess to be fair, with COVID and everybody like work
true.
changing, everybody going back to being remote, I mean, it's only been, I say only, but I mean, it's been a year and a half. So there's still a lot of unaccounted time in there since 2017.
Yeah,
But I'm sure that may have had some impact in pushing out any sort of timeline that might have already gotten pushed back
yeah.
for
I think
them.
for Nintendo even more because the way I see it, Nintendo didn't exist in 2020. Like they literally like there was nothing from them. There was like of course they released Animal Crossing right at the start of the year, like killer,
Yeah,
like amazing game.
that's all that
But like
mattered.
true, that is true though. I will agree with that.
That's really all
But
that mattered.
but I really feel that that whole year, I really think they pushed things off. Like they, like the only big title was Animal Crossing, and then that was it. Like I think they had was Pokemon. No, I think Pokemon Snap was this year. So yeah, last year, and there was no direct and stuff. Like I think in 2020 they
Yeah.
really went like radio silent. So I really think that yeah, if Bayonetta like might have been planned for 2021, but then it that thing, and then 2020 happened,
Yeah.
and then now it's 2022 like that. I can see that too for sure.
Yeah.
Nice. Now for the last one, then the sweet for last. That's awesome.
Dessert.
And oh, go ahead.
No, no, no. I'm just saying this dessert. Sweet, sweet.
Yes.
I like it.
So yesterday, you're gonna see a theme here.
Okay.
Yesterday, Sony had the PlayStation Showcase. We kind of mentioned it already, but we're gonna have a different take on it now. Which Marvel had a big presence on the show with a new Wolverine title. They showed Spider-Man 2 and also the Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see these franchises doing so well in the gaming industry. I mean, these are like comic books that became movies, became games, not necessarily in that order, but it's pretty cool. And a couple weeks ago, we talked about how games are being turned into movies, but now we're seeing the opposite. So my question is there any story, media, anything you consume in any way that you'd like to see turn into a video game.
Ooh.
Yeah, any superhero, like anything that you want to play a video game of that thing.
So, oh man.
I guess
That's a
it's a
good question.
difficult
That's a
question.
really good. No, it's a
Yeah.
really good question though, because I'm trying to think of like media outside of the obvious.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like I'd like to see, and I can't think of a specific one, but I feel like I'd like to see like a novel, like like legit literature turned like skip all the other media and go right to a video game. I think that
Yeah.
would be interesting.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
just because I mean, I'm sure it's probably been done, but another would be uh
I guess you can mention
an
things that
album.
already exist as well. That like maybe you want a better game of that thing. That's possible too.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, but an album, that's awesome. I never thought of
And
that.
I feel like I just saw something about a Radiohead game.
Whoa, they
Um,
announced it. I think that was a Radiohead thing on the Sony
yeah,
presentation.
it was
Yeah.
like Kid A Robot, like it was a I think that was part of it. So, and I thought that was
Yeah.
a really interesting idea of like taking that kind of thing and turning it into uh like turning it into a game
Into a
experience.
game. Yeah. You played Sayonara Wild Hearts, right?
I did.
So that's kind of, I feel like
Oh
that's the
my god,
game
it's
where the
so
album is
good.
turned into a game, right? Because that whole game is like an album, but you're
Yeah.
playing it. Oh, that game is really, really good.
That game gave me so many feelings. Highly recommend
Yeah,
that game too. 'Cause that
it's
was that
really
was a
good.
nice surprise. I wasn't super familiar with it, and then I played. I was like, "This is magic. It's magic."
I never thought of this, but like an album becoming a video game. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of like some that I can. I don't know. You know how like every album has like a feeling. Sometimes like
Yeah.
overall you get like it might be part of like that part of your life or like whatever, but like you have like those feelings
Hmm.
around like a particular album. Um, I don't know. I feel like it'd be interesting to see that
In a
take.
different medium. Yeah.
Yeah.
The first game when you
Or
said that came to mind was like Psychonauts that I just played because Psychonauts
yes,
is really crazy and stuff. So like I can see that
yes.
vibe for like an album.
That would be cool. That would be really
Yeah.
cool. Um, I'd also be interested in something like, well, I don't know. I mean, thinking about like art turned into a video game, but like video games are art
Ooh.
already.
Yeah,
But
but I think
you
there
could
is a
like
game like that.
borrow. Oh, is there?
Have you played Gorogoa?
Oh no, but I have it.
Oh, Gorogoa. I think Gorogoa is kind of that vibe actually, which is
Okay.
like art turned into game. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
think it's
because
that vibe.
you're. Oh, I like that. That's interesting.
Yeah, and you should play it. It's like
Yeah.
literally 2 hours long, I think, or not
Okay.
even that. But it's super fun. Like that's a good game to
Yeah, I think
stream
I'd
as
like
well,
that.
because like a puzzle game, it's really
Yeah.
fun.
Oh yeah, I watched somebody play a little bit of it and I was like, I need this.
And in regards to the literature you were saying, is there any like book or series you've read that there's not a video game of? Because I just thought like I've never read the Percy Jackson books, but like
Oh,
I don't think
true.
there's a Percy Jackson video like good video game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. So like those kind of things, like a really good 50 Shades of Grey game. I'm just kidding, of course. I mean, it could happen, but I
Can
don't know.
you imagine? That'll be on Twitch's can't stream list.
Yeah, do not stream.
Oh my god. That would
But
be
yeah,
although that would
but
be
that's
hilarious.
a but just your take is like so good because like skip going to the movie and series route, but
Hmm.
like just go to the game. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's a choose your own adventure version.
Yeah.
Like the choose your own adventure books, you just do it in movie form through
Whoa.
video games.
Yeah. Ooh, I
I
think
think
there's
I'd like to
something
see some
there.
classics like that. Like I'd like to see
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know, like I think it'd be funny to see like Shakespeare like that, like where you're like
Ooh,
actually
yeah.
playing, but then I feel like it'd have to be like, well, it wouldn't have to be a choices matter game because that would totally
But
change
there's
it.
something there. Yeah.
But like, depending on which one you gotta go find the thing and you gotta go get to Juliet and or whatever,
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
think we can see that in a way because the gaming industry is growing, like it's still growing, and it's like drawing more attention to it. So that's a possibility. I think just like not only the like let's say the Shakespeare thing, but like just the books going straight to game. I
Yeah.
think we might see that at some point.
Give me like Pride and Prejudice, Great Expectations, Little
Oh,
Women.
can you believe it? That
Um,
would be really
like, oh,
cool.
give me Edgar Allan Poe. Which there probably is some based on
Oh,
Poe, but
probably, yeah.
like, give me. Oh, you know what it would be? Oh, well, there's probably stuff sort of loosely based, but Jack Kerouac, like On the Road. Give me some beatnik
Oh,
poets.
yeah.
Give me some actual poets. Like, give me some poetry. Um,
There's something
I
there,
don't
yeah, for
know.
sure.
But then again, I also love the idea of a truly original game.
Yeah.
But I think if we're gonna, of course, all art sort of borrows inspiration from everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But, um, oh, excuse me.
Oh, that's right.
I think it'd be super interesting, um, to
Yeah.
like, I don't know, see some of the stuff that I read in school, um, turn
And then there's a game
into,
about it. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
like
awesome.
see those characters come to life in a way
Yeah.
that like you feel very connected to.
Yeah. I also like that you brought up that new stories are also great. You know what I mean? Like these new IPs and new stories that are born in the gaming industry. That's pretty cool too. I think even uh like of course God of War, it's based on like it was based on Greek mythology, but I mean it's like they built the game and then I think there's a book that I think came out about the story of the first game. So like it's
Oh,
just cool
okay.
seeing by first game I mean the 2018 game.
Yeah, yeah.
But like it's cool to see like these mediums interchange and all that. Just like
Yeah,
the
it's
other way
awesome.
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That so yeah, nice. You bought everything from Timmy and Tommy. You're free to go.
Yes. That
It's
sounds like
basically
any
like
other time I played Animal Crossing. So,
exactly. You're like, oh, you're free to go now. Pay Tom Nook basically to use more money to pay Tom Nook. But
yes.
yeah, thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Thank you so much for having me and for inviting me. This was lovely.
Yeah,
I
now we have
really,
a
really had a great
little.
time.
Oh, that's good to hear. We have a little bit of time left, and we can go to chat. Maybe some people have asked some questions. Uh, I think we talked about this. Ooh, this is a good one. We talked about your favorite game. This is a good one from Brexton. What's your favorite emote of yours?
Oh
Do you
man,
have a
of my
favorite?
emotes. Oh, they're all so good. I love them all, but I do like the I really like the cult kissy one, the cult queen
Oh,
kissy.
yeah.
With the pentagram behind my head. I really like that one. And I like the psychic one too, where I'm like over
Ooh, the
the
psychic one is really good.
yeah. And I love them all. I can't actually pick a favorite. But
It's difficult.
but
I have to
they're
agree.
different, so I like them.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking through chat right now, and if you guys have any questions to ask right now, this is the time to do it. Otherwise, we're gonna end the show. This was amazing. Like this show was super nice. And while we're here too, can you remind everyone about your channel and everything again? Because we had more people join. So yeah,
Oh
that
yeah.
would be nice.
All right. Well, so I mean you guys can see that I'm Kissy plays wait, plays games. But yeah, I can see I play games. On my channel, we literally play like all the games. Play cute games, spoopy games, survival games, indie games, puzzle games. I always list like a bunch of a different lists each time. I feel like pew
That's
pew
not, yeah,
games.
that's
You can't
great.
forget pew pew games. Um, but co-op games, multiplayer games, community stuff. We like we do all the things. I also do some music streams, some art streams, IRL kayak fishing streams. Sunday is self care Sunday, and I do tarot card readings for anybody who is interested. We also open Pokemon cards from time to time. And yeah, that's what we do. Oh, and this here is my darling co-host
Important.
Skelly. Um, he's lovely.
And
He's,
yeah, for
he's always
everyone
around.
that joined for the second portion, if you guys want to learn more about the kayaking, the self-care Sunday, like we talked about all that on the first half of the show, it was great. So yeah, I think we're gonna, yeah, this is the end of the show. I want to thank you again for being
Thank
here.
you.
It was a pleasure. It was really, really awesome. The show keeps getting better and better, like it's so nice to have this vision of the show, and then every week like it's exactly what it was supposed to be, you know what I mean? Like it's super
Yeah.
good and we have fun and it's awesome. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. And keep doing this forever, please,
Oh,
because
thank
it's.
you.
No, I've watched the other episodes on there. It's you're awesome. You're meant
Thank
to
you
do
so
this. Like
much.
you're really really good at it, and it's
Really
always a great show and great
appreciate it.
conversation. So
Thank
I am
you.
honored to have been a part of it this week. So thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank you. So yeah, everyone, don't forget to oh, Louise have a question really quick. Yes, Louise. Someone's playing something in the background, and I can answer that. It was Ghost of Tsushima. I
Yes,
recognized it.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah. Mr.
great
Kissy
game.
is got home from work a little while ago, and so he's playing that game right now on the PS5.
So yeah, everyone, I really appreciate everyone being here. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Go follow Kissy on Twitch, on Twitter, and all the social medias. Kissy is
Mhm.
great. The channel is good vibes nonstop, and
Thank
yeah, I
you.
cannot recommend it enough. Like it's really, really good. I really hope people do that and check you out. And thank you again, everyone, for being here, and thank you, Kissy, again, of course.
Thank you, Messi.
Have a great night,
Oh, you
everyone.
too.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I was saying you have a great night too.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And yeah, everyone, have a great night. And I'll see you guys. I'll come back later after this just to talk about and acknowledge everything that happened. But yeah, for now, I'll see you guys. Thank you so much for watching That's a Mess this week. And yeah, see you guys. Bye. Bye, Kissy. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Mwah.